Five records at Trusty Spot Records and Tees. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da. All right, you made it back. Welcome to Five Records at Trusty Spot Records and Tees. Here we are in the shop in Chesterton, Indiana. If you can't visit us out here, you can find us online at trustyspot.com. We ship, so if you want to buy something, great. Also, follow us on social media. You can find us at Trusty Spot Records on pretty much everything. You might be watching this on video. You might be seeing it or hearing it as a podcast. However you're getting it, please share it. Also, comment. Let me know what you think. Don't be mean though. I don't need to be abused. Just be nice. That's cool. But if you don't like something, that's okay. I can take it. What else? Oh, anything that we talk about in this episode, there will be links if you want to check out more and get more information or purchase or whatever. But let's get into it with record number one. This is Night School. This is Revenger from 2010. So Kevin Alber and Chris Balla are a Brooklyn duo. The project Night School is not around very long, but this is a lo-fi indie rock. So I feel like if somebody gave these guys the assignment and they're like, here's what we want you to do. We want you to make a record that's fuzzy and jangly and like lo-fi rock and roll with like woody lyrics and all the stuff that goes with it that's like ear candy and it's hooky and catchy and all kinds of cool stuff. These dudes understood the assignment. This record is so fun. If you like Pavement or Car Seat Headrest or maybe Guided by Voices even, you will like this record. This record, every time I hear it, it reminds me of an independent film. Um, I mean that as like a huge compliment. You know, when you watch an independent film and you're like, man, whoever made that soundtrack is pretty cool. That's basically this record. I mean, these guys are pretty cool, and the whole thing is awesome throughout. So if you're looking for a new to you record that is fun and it's catchy and hooky and good energy, this is a great record. That's record number one. All right, record number two. Oh, sweet, weird Vince Cadillac. This is Modern Boy from a guy named Vince Cadillac in 1978. I just love saying that name because his real name is Tony Todd, and this guy picked Vince Cadillac, and I think that's the greatest thing in the world, and it always makes me giggle. Um, if if you were to be like, what's it sound like? And I said, well, three parents made love and had a sweet baby boy named Vince Cadillac. The parents would be the Rocky Horror soundtrack, and it would be like the Bay City Rollers and Superchunk. I swear to you, you got to hear this record. It's so good, and I'm not making fun of it. I love it. It's upbeat. It's weird. Basically, so Tony Todd was a British multi instrumentalist and took the name Vince Cadillac to make this record and did some other singles. But basically, he was making singles, and then at some point, the opportunity presented itself to make a full record, which is what this is. Um, it's like new wave meets like teeny bopper dance music meets just pop rock. It's awesome. You just got to hear it. I think. I tell you what, if that sounds weird, wait till you hear it. If you listen to go stream after this, go stream Voodoo Woman, which is on this record, and then tell me that you don't want to hear the rest of this record, and I will call you a liar right to your face because there's no way that you listen to Voodoo Woman and you're not curious about what is on Modern Boy. It's a cool record. Check it out. All right, that's number two. Oh, number three, Mtume. So this is Kiss the World Goodbye, also from '78. James Mtume is the brains behind this. He founded this band, and you probably don't know that name, but I bet you know some of his music because he was around forever and wrote a lot of cool stuff. He had a songwriting partner named Reggie Lucas. They were actually in Miles Davis's band back in the day, but they wrote stuff like I Never Knew Love Like This Before and Juicy Fruit. But what's on this record that I love a lot is that they've got Closer I Get to You. So that was made famous by Roberta Flack, actually around the same time period that they put this out, which is their version on this record, which I like Roberta Flack. And I like the one that's, I'm not going to say which one I like better, but this is a super cool record through and through. Um, the thing that I like most about this is that if you were like, if this record was a sandwich and it was made of equal parts funk and soul, then they pour a little bit of disco hot sauce on top. And I'm not even a disco fan, but it makes this record taste great. That's so weird. I don't know what I'm saying, except that I really, really like this record front to back. And record nerds, take note. It's a white label promo. It's you see. I'm sure you can see on the camera. It's got the radio label on the front as far as the tracks, but all the inserts are inside. It's in beautiful shape, and it's a great record. Disco hot sauce. All right, that was number three. Number four. I'm making myself giggle tonight. All right, number four, the Sinceros, Pet Rock. This is 1981. UK band. Starts off, they started off, I'm sorry, my nose is just so bad, and I know I keep touching my face, and you're not supposed to because I was reading about how to do stuff, but my right nostril really itches on the outside. Let's get it. Oh, that's stuff. Okay, so UK band. They started off originally as kind of like more of a new wave sound and turned into kind of a power pop thing. But if we do the same thing we did for Vince Cadillac as far as who the parents of this record are, the people that made Sweet Love would be like the Cars would be in there for sure. REM would be in there, and the Shins would be in there, and probably the Smithereens would be in there as far as like taking notes on some of the songwriting. So yeah, so that Love Puddle would produce the Sinceros, and this is their second and final album. And they did what happened with them is they made a first record. It did pretty well. They were playing all over. They went to make the second record, which everybody thought this is going to catapult them into fame and fortune and superstardom, and it did not. And really, nobody knows why. My thought is that when you listen to this, even for the first time, it sounds familiar. So maybe the radio airwaves were kind of saturated with some of that similar sound right around this kind of same time, and it was just kind of white noise and just didn't go anywhere. But it's a fun record. They broke up after it didn't do well. Some of these guys went on to play with like Van Morrison and Squeeze and Nick Lowe. And overall, this band and this record faded into obscurity, but it really shouldn't have. There's a great song on here called Down Down. There's another one called Nothing Changes. Stream those to kind of get a feeling for what the rest of this thing is like. But super cool and highly recommend. That was number four. Oh, number five. All right. I need to give a disclaimer. I know one of the guys in this band. We've become friends because he comes to the shop. Which I know that sounds weird. The guy that made this record comes to the shop. One of them, yeah, and he's a very nice guy named Dean. But I'm going to put my friendship with Dean aside because I want to talk about the merits of this record, which there are plenty, and this thing has strong legs to stand on for sure. So this is Turnerjoy is the band. The album is Transplant. It's originally recorded in 2002. And where is this band from, Dave? Well, they're from right here in the town I'm sitting in right now, Chesterton, Indiana, which is in the shadows of Chicago. So, who are they? How do I? This is such a crazy story. So these guys are playing in the '90s, late '90s, into the early 2000s, and they're making some moves and they're getting a following and things are going well. And like every other band, pretty much all bands, right? They break up after this record is made and they fade into the night like so many other bands, right? Um, so then a funny thing happens. Transplant, this album starts getting traction. It starts getting, people are hearing it, and however that works, right? A friend gives it to a friend, kind of a thing, whatever. It's shared through the internet. People are starting to get behind this thing, but the band is defunct and broken up. Then in 2008, all of a sudden the song Torturous, which is on this record, shows up on a UK TV show called Skins, which is crazy popular at the time. So the band all of a sudden has streams in the millions, right? Like, and they have fans literally around the globe. Um, Again, their streams are in the millions, fans all around the globe, and they're not even a band anymore. So what's the next thing that happens in this weird story, Dave? Well, I'll tell you. A guy in Ohio is like, I'm going to make a documentary about it. You can't make this up. It's crazy. And the documentary, it's called Get Out of Home, which if you listen to the record, you'll know why. Streams for free on YouTube. I'll put a link to that as well down below in the description. So again, the streams explode into the millions. They're getting all of this attention. This guy makes a documentary. They re-released this on vinyl in 2020. That's this pressing. And let's talk about the music. Okay, so what is it like? This record is truly amazing. And I'm not saying that because I know Dean. This is like atmospheric space rock, and I truly can't compare it to anybody. It takes chances sonically. The lyrics are beautiful. It's wildly creative and original. And I truly believe that had the stars been lined up a little bit differently, this would have been one of the biggest records of that time in the world. And I really mean that. It's that good, and I really think people need to hear this record. I will always champion this record. It's incredible. Side note, and this is true, anytime, literally every time I have played this record in this record store and there's a customer in here, they stop what they're doing and they come to the counter to ask me what I'm playing. And it's this record. So that says a lot too, right? So Turnerjoy's Transplant, record number 5. We've got one copy in house, and I highly, highly, highly recommend that you grab this one while you can. I don't know if we'll be able to restock it or not. That is it for the 5 records this week at Trusty Spot Records and Tees. I hope you liked some stuff. I hope you learned some stuff. I hope it was fun. And that's it. I got nothing else to say. So until next week, have a good week. Come back and see us. Goodbye. 5 records at Trusty Spot Records and Tees.